Hello everyone, welcome to Ruby on Rails course. We are talking about this Ruby on Rails topics one by one. In this video, we are going to talk about a topic called Rails views. So before getting into the video, you should know why you are learning Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails is one of the open source framework which is used to develop your web applications. It is also called as full stack framework. It is working according to model, view and controller. That is nothing but MVC architecture. There are lots of other frameworks and then platforms are there. Why we are going for Ruby on Rails means it is very simple to use, simple to learn because of the Ruby programming language. Rails is having this kind of demand in the market right now. So with this simple introduction, let us get into today's topics. So before getting into today's topics, let me introduce myself. I am Krishnaveni, having 14 years of experience in this software development, web development and software training. I have trained more than 800 students online. I have worked with clients like Cognizant, Oracle, TVS, NIT, Sedent Technologies and much more. I have a standard syllabus to teach you to meet the industry standards. In this video, we are going to talk about a topic called Rails views, layout integration and form helpers. So I suggest you to subscribe to our channel to get the latest learning playlist, live expert sessions and much more. Like the video, watch the video and share it with your friends. Make use of all the available resources. So let us get into first topic, Rails views. Rails views are nothing but embedded programming, ERB program. That is, we are going to embed your Ruby script into the HTML. So view is nothing but the front end part of MVC. In MVC, we are having the view. That is nothing but the browser pages you are seeing on the screen. So if you are talking about MVC, that is nothing but the front end. View is the front end and then model is the back end and controller is the middleman which is controlling all of your business logic. That part we already learned in our Rails architecture. So similar to that, Rails views means that is denoting your front end tools. That means the browser pages you are seeing on your browser, the HTML pages. So usually Rails views will be having HTML, images, CSS, JavaScript or any other icons or fonts or something like that, some style sheets properties. So usually it is referred as GI, graphical user interface, otherwise graphical interface, GI. So GUI part of your browser pages are called as front end. So that will be denoting the view part in this Rails. So to handle the views, Rails is having a dedicated component called Rails views. Okay, so in this Rails views, you can able to control all of your front end technologies, tools and whatever the configuration. So in this Ruby on Rails views, it is usually we will usually embed the Ruby script with regular HTML code. So all of your files will get stored with .erb extension. So whenever you are creating your first view files, you will be stored it as index.html.erb. So remember that we are storing all of your view files with .erb extension. So action views, this particular dedicated component called action views, it's supporting the view part in your Rails. So it is used with HTML templates, okay, partials and layouts. So there are three different parts are there in your view file. So you can able to integrate any HTML template for your application. You can work with partials. Also you can work with layouts. So where you can find these view files means whenever you are having your Rails application, open that Rails application which you have created for the learning purpose. So in that your app folder is there, right? So in that folder, in your views, you can able to see the available views files. So usually it will be having a default folder called layouts. Okay, inside that there will be a common file called application.html.erb. So remember that ERB is nothing but embedding the Ruby code with HTML. That's why for HTML, after the HTML, we are having one more extension called .erb. So in this file, all the repeated HTML tags. So if you are having a HTML file, there will be a document open tag. After that, HTML tag will be there, head tag will be there, title tag will be there, then the head will get closed. After that, body tag will be there. After that, the body tag will get closed. Finally, the HTML tag will get closed. So within the body tag, you will be writing your content. Okay. So if you want to brush up your HTML reviews, or HTML, if you want to review your HTML, I suggest you to visit any one of the website, maybe W3 schools or something like that, which will be having a standard content, otherwise standard online tutorials for this HTML. Okay, you can learn from here and you can update or brush up your HTML skills. Okay, so here we are going to use the normal HTML pages. So in Rails views, that default HTML page, that is called application.html.erb, that is the common layout file. Whatever the coding you are going to write, you need to put it in this common file. That will be added to the corresponding other view files. Other view files will get embedded with this particular application.html.erb file. So you need to put it here. Okay, so that's why it's have a body content. Within this body content, we are going to write all of our script. So this HTML file will be getting repeated in all the files. If you are having more than one HTML file, these document, head, body tags will get repeated all the time. But we are using a concept called convention over configuration, right? So to meet that, to meet the conditions called dry, don't repeat yourself. Okay, so don't repeat your code again and again, reuse your code. Rails is following this particular concept called application.html.erb. This file is a layout file where you can put all of your available repeated HTML tags over here. Only you need to change the body content in the other file. So when you embed that Ruby script into this file, all the tags which are getting repeated will be reflected in all of your other view files. Okay, so that's why we are having a common layout file called application.html.erb in this layout. Okay, inside the views you can able to find out, and that this is the layout file which will be shared by all other HTML pages. So there you can able to provide a common look and feel for your application. Okay, so right now let us get into the app which we have created. So this particular Great Campus application is the application which we have used once for the scaffold creation and manual MVC files. So I am continuing with the same app for our learning purpose. So right now I am going to show you the output of that particular application. So we already have the page called Hello Rails. That is the first page we have created. We are going to use that page again. So whenever you are seeing that page, it may look like very plain. So remember, whenever you want to see the output of the application, remember to start your Rails server. Usually Rails server is nothing but it will boot the Puma inbuilt web server and it will keep on listening to the port number 3000. So right now I have booted that Rails server and I am waiting for the local host to respond. So once you have added that Rails command, you can come here in your browser and you can run the localhost :3000 home index. Right now, look at that. This particular Hello Rails output is looking very plain. There is no background images or colors or font or any styling. Okay, so it is looking very plain. So if you are taking any other standard website, let us take our guides.rubyonrails.org. In this website, you can see some kind of logos and some kind of images, some kind of menus with red color, and then some kind of ash background color and font colors. So something like that, that look and feel is somewhat okay. But right now, here in this particular app, our look and feel is not good. So it is looking very plain. So we can apply these kind of HTML templates. Otherwise, we can say skins for your application. Usually in your mobile, you will be applying themes, right? So you will be changing the background screen, you will be changing the icon styles, and you can change the colors of your phone log, something like that. You are changing the look and feel of your mobile phones, right? Similar to that, your web application You can change the look and feel of your web application. You can add HTML templates, or you can use your own templates. So like that, you can able to give some look and feel for your app. So here they have given something like in the red color. So if you are going for any other websites, it will be having their own styles. Okay, so they will be having their own styles, and then logs, and then fonts, and then icons, something like that. So right now we are going to do the same for our application. So we are going to use the concept called layout integration. So integrating your layout with a common HTML template. So you can do that in three different ways. First, you can get the HTML ready, which are already available as a open source. So opensourcewebdesign.org. So here lots of already designed open source web designs are available. So you can download any one and you can use that, because this is a standard template which has been already developed, contributed by some of the developers. You can able to use that. Second one, if you are familiar with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and how to know the design, you can able to design your own this kind of website skills. So you can able to design your own HTML templates. If you are well known about the front end tools, you can able to use that with some special tools like Photoshop or some other editors. You can use this particular design. You can design on your own. Otherwise, you can get the help from the professional designers. So professional designers will exactly work out on your HTML template, how you are exactly looking for. For example, if you are working with any one web application related to online store, so if you are telling your requirement to them, they will be designing your web template according to the requirement. So like that, you can get the help from the professional web designer. Okay, so you can get your skills in three different ways. Either you can download it from any open source network, or you can able to design on your own, or you can get the help from the professional designer. Usually, if going for any company, they will be having a professional testing team, and then design team, everything will be there. So they will be providing you the corresponding template. If you don't know how to do that, lots of other tools like Bootstrap, some other these kind of development tools are available. I mean that design tools are available. You can design your own skills. So Bootstrap is having its own tutorial. You can learn that and you can design your own HTML templates for your web application. Right now, I am going to use already available web template from open source web design. This is one of the very famous website where designers will provide their contribution. So I am going to download any one and I am going to use that. So if you are downloading any one of the skin like this, you will have some minimum requirement, because other skins or other HTML templates may be having lots of combination of files. Something may be having animations. Some templates may be having only PSD files. So something Photoshop files. Okay, so those kind of files we cannot edit and integrate with our Rails application. If you are downloading any template, that should have a minimum requirement. I will talk about that. Let us try few of the designs. Okay, so let us try few of the designs like this. So when you have, you can able to download this one. Okay, so once you have downloaded this one, it will be available in your local machine. I suggest you to download any one of the template. I already have such template. Let us take that one. So when you download that, it will be available as a zip file. Okay, otherwise compressed format file. You need to unzip the content and you can use that. So right now I am going to use this simplicity green. So this is the already available web template. I already downloaded in my local machine. I am going to use this for the teaching purpose. So right now, once you are downloaded that kind of any open source web design, and whenever you are unzipping the content, you may have a folder like this. Okay, in that folder, lots of files will be there. What are the files? CSS files may be there, images may be there, JavaScript files may be there, and then some kind of HTML files will be there, and license, those kind of readme files will be there. So this is the content. What is the minimum requirement? If you want to integrate a HTML template which you have get from internet, or which you have downloaded from other websites, what are the minimum requirement if you want to integrate that with our Rails application? So there are three important stuff. First one, it should have at least few images. Okay, so it should have at least few images. Second one, it should have at least one CSS file. And third one, it should have at least one HTML source file. Okay, so there are three different important minimum requirement, because if you are talking about a template, there should be definitely at least 2 or 3 background images. Okay, logo, something will be there. So it should have some images, and it should have one CSS, and it should have one HTML source file with .html extension. What does CSS mean? Cascading style sheets. So those cascading style sheets are nothing but a place where you will be putting your font, size, colors, all the things. Okay, so if you want to have a good idea about that, again I suggest you to go with this W3 schools for the corresponding CSS recall. If you want to recall all the CSS topic, you just go with that. Okay, here you can get the idea of CSS and the front end technologies like HTML, JavaScript, all this one. Okay, I suggest you to brush up this CSS skills before, if you want to continue with the corresponding layout integration. See, we are not going to sit and write CSS. Okay, it is already there in our templates itself. We are just going to integrate that with our application. So if you have the idea of that particular CSS, that would be great. There is no necessary need you should know the CSS. If you know the idea, you can able to get what is inside the CSS file. CSS, HTML, all self-explanatory. You can able to learn them very quickly on your own. No guidance or no other tutors are required for that. That's why I'm telling you, just brush up your HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So JavaScript also very simple to learn. You can get lots of other resources are available, so you can get it from there. So easily you can able to learn these kind of HTML, CSS, JavaScript before you are getting into this particular layout integration. Okay, I suggest you to refresh your skills. Okay, anyway, right now we are going to talk about that again, this particular integration. So to do this integration, as I mentioned you need to download the template. It should have few images, it should have one CSS, and it should have one HTML resource file. Okay, that is the source file. So in this downloaded folder, let us check whether this minimum requirements are there. First, images are there. So few images are available inside here, and then one CSS is available inside the CSS folder. Few JavaScript files are there, that is optional, and lots of other HTML files are there. 5 HTML files are there. So I can get any one of the source from, usually it will be index file. Index.html is the usual one. So you can get your source code from here. Okay. So now this particular HTML template is meeting all the minimum requirements which are needed. So we can integrate this one with our application. So before that, you should see how this particular layout is looking like. So this is the corresponding layout. Okay, this is the one I am going to integrate with my application. So right now I am going to give this look and feel, your business company logo goes here, blah blah, into this particular app. So what we need to do that integration, you have 5 steps. Okay, so let me tell you the steps one by one. First of all, you need to prefer these kind of HTML template. Okay. Next one, you just open both of the application as well as your downloaded folder at a time, so you can easily copy and paste the files. Okay, so let's get into the first step. I have opened all of my downloaded this template and another layer corresponding current layout file here. Okay, so for the first step, you get into that images folder, okay, of your downloaded template, copy all the files. Okay, just copy all the files, come to your app. In your app folder, there will be a folder called assets. Inside the assets, images will be there. Images folder will be there. You can simply come here, okay, and you can simply paste it over here. Okay, so just copy all the images to this particular images. Okay, that is the first step. Second step, come to your downloaded folder, So CSS file is there, one CSS file, right? You just copy here and come to your app. In your app, there will be a folder called assets. Inside that, there will be a folder called style sheets. Inside that, you just paste it. Okay. So you just paste the CSS file over here. Okay. That is the second step. Third step, you just open the JavaScript files. Okay. Copy all the JavaScripts from your template. Now come to our app. In this app, in your folder itself, you will be having a JavaScript folder. Inside that, there will be a folder called pack. Okay. So you just paste all of your JavaScript files over here. So first three steps are very simple. Copy the images, copy the CSS and copy the JavaScript files and move it to the corresponding assets folder in your Rails application. First three steps are very simple. The fourth step, you need to open the corresponding any one index file, I mean that HTML file with your editor. Remember that. Open that with your editor. Okay. Once you have opened, just copy the content within the body tag. Remember, I don't want you to copy the entire stuff because our repeated tags are already available in our application.html.erb. So you don't need to copy all the document, HTML, header tag, title tag, body tag, anything. You just copy the content which are inside the body tag. Okay. And come to your app. Inside your app, there is a folder called views. Inside that, there is a file called layouts and application.html.erb. This file we already talked about. You just come here. You can find out the body tag over here. There will be a keyword called yield. I will talk about the yield keyword later. Right now, you just paste the content within this body tag. Okay. You have copied from your template which you have downloaded and you are pasting it inside the application.html.erb. Remember that. Okay. Only the content within the body tag, not all the content. Okay. So right now I pasted the content. So the 4 steps are over. One more step is there. Before that, let us go and refresh what is the status of our app. So right now you can see some files and some text are coming like this. Okay. Some of the text and some of the things are coming, but the images are missing. Why the images are missing? This is because we have moved the root path of the image to the assets folder. So we need to give the corresponding path for the assets folder. Okay. So let us give that assets folder. Assets means it will be available. Some images has been defined in your HTML file. Some images can be there in your CSS file. So you need to check both. So how we can check? You just check for the keyword called images. So you can see, find out the images over here. Okay. So you just replace that images with /assets. Okay. You can. Okay. So wherever you are finding the images, image src tag. So images can be integrated with your HTML using the tag called image src. Okay. So that image src tag, that is nothing but image tag. So using that, you just change the image into assets. Okay. So whatever the path, you precede it with assets. So once you have given /assets before your path, which images are mentioned, now when you refresh, it will reflect in your corresponding page. So for example, so images, 3 images are here. A few more images should be here. Okay, images. Okay, that's it. So I have added few images from here. Similarly, as I mentioned you, your CSS file also may have this particular this file. So you just go into your style sheets and open your style.css, which you have copied from the template. Okay. So when you look at it, your images over here, even you can find out the images. Sometimes it may be defined in your CSS. Yeah. Here you can find the background images defined in your CSS. So here also, instead of the images, you just change the path to assets. Okay. So find out all the available images. So like this, and change the corresponding path to slash assets. So you can do it with your help of your editor itself. Okay. So next assets, here it is. So you just remove the assets and make it slash assets. Okay, remove the images and give the path slash assets, because all the images are inside the assets right now. Okay. So here 3 or 4 images are there. You just use this slash assets. Why I am doing manually means to understand. For your understanding, I am doing one by one. Even there is an option called find and replace. Okay. So you can use this option from your editor as well. Okay. So use that. So let me check whether few more images are there. Yeah, there is no more images are available. So I have changed all the images into corresponding assets. Okay, we just change the path as assets. That's it. Right now we are done with all the steps. Go and refresh your page. You will get all the images. So now we have refreshed the page and we are getting all the images. Okay. So once you have added the slash assets paths to your that images, you will be getting the images, all the available images. Okay. So right now you may wonder that where is our hello rails. Initially that hello rails was there, but right now it is not there. Okay. So the hello rails page is missing. So where we need to put that content. So how we can skip all these unnecessary your business company slogan goes here, blah blah blah. How we can remove that? So all the available template and its content are there in our application.html.erb. You already know that, right? So here it is. You can see your business, that company slogan, blah blah contents are here. So you can keep the content which are necessary for you. You can delete the content one by one which are not necessary. But whenever you are doing that, you need to do it very carefully, because if you are deleting any division tag or a div tag or some other tag by mistake, your layout can get collapsed. So you need to do that very carefully. First of all, let us come to here, come to this page, and let us change this one. Your business company slogan goes here. So come to the application.html.erb and find out the corresponding stuff. So it will be in your here, right? So change that into my first Rails app. So like that you change whatever you need. So your company slogan goes here. So Rails is easy. So like that I have added my own stuff. So you come and refresh your page. You will be getting what you have given. Okay, my first Rails page, Rails is easy. So after that, this image is coming. So home, our work, testimonial, project, those kind of menus are there. You can even you can change that to your name. So here it is, home. Okay, and then login. So like that, products, service, contact us, something like that. Whatever you want, you can change that. So whatever changes you are doing, it will reflect over here. Okay, so for these links you can give your Twitter account, Facebook account, LinkedIn account, something like that you can give. And here after coming to this content, welcome to our website, some blah 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 content. So usually these kind of content will be available in a paragraph. Okay, you can remove them very quickly. So this is the paragraph tag. I'm going to remove that. Okay, now I have removed only one paragraph. Now go and check that paragraph will remove. Okay, and then this particular these blah 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 stuff, so remove it one by one, because first time if you are doing that, you need to do that very carefully, because it may collapse your existing tags. So you just do that one by one. Okay, and then again 2 more paragraphs are there. So I'm removing this content one by one. So you can see that only one image and some unwanted this kind of welcome to our website, place your heading here. So these two content, okay, remove that, and also this asset. So right now we have removed all the center content which are not necessary. So the left side and the bottom content are there. Let us use that later. Right now we have just reached the center part. This is the center part division, that is the item, okay. And even in the bottom footer you can remove that footer. So some kind of links are there. If you don't want to use them, you can use your own. So usually this kind of footer item will be having this corresponding content, usually copyright, okay. So at the rate of my app. So like that you can give, otherwise you can use ampersand COPY, that is the copyright symbol, okay. Then my app. So something like that, it just give whatever the copyright content. So go and refresh, you will be getting what you have given, okay. Copyright at my app. So like that you can change the header, footer, menus, and the side content also you can change. You need to check where the content starts and end, okay. So that's it. Here it is, okay. April something. So let us do April 2022, and you can add your own stuff. New layout added. So the rest of the content you can remove that as well. If you want to remove that, you can remove those things, okay. So carefully remove those things one time. So I have removed the unwanted stuffs, okay. So right now your application is shrinking. So if you want to do that, if you don't want to do that, you can do control reset. You can undo the content, so it will be available as long, okay. So right now this is the one, okay. So I have changed a few of the text here, like that you can able to add or remove or whatever content. But where is the Hello Rails page? Because the home index, it's already showed Hello Rails, right? Where is the page? Because it is not here. So remember, we have removed one keyword called yield when we copied the body content. Usually it will be having a keyword called yield, okay. So that yield keyword is used to call all the HTML files to get integrated with this layout. This is the common layout file, right? So that yield keyword is used to call other HTML files to get integrated with this layout. That is the concept of yield. Yield means calling. So this file will call that other pages to get integrated with this layout. While we have copied the corresponding body content, we have removed this yield content. I told you I will talk about that later. Right now, you just add the yield over at the center of the page where you want to have the yield content. You just find out the center of the division tag and add it. Right now, this is the center, right? I have added the yield content over here. Right now, you will be having the Hello Rails page here. Okay. Not only Hello Rails, if you are going for the scaffold we have created, there is nothing but the book scaffold, okay. You can able to see all the corresponding books and the author and the whatever it is here. So whenever you are giving new, okay, it will go to that new page and then back and then show, okay, edit, destroy, all the pages will come in the same layout, okay. This is the books controller. Initially we were worked with home index, right? So that home index also will be coming in the same layout, okay. So now our look and feel is somewhat good. So earlier it was very plain, but right now it is looking somewhat good. So like that you can integrate your look and feel for your application. So you can download it on your own. You can download it from any one of the open source web designs, or you can design on your own, or you can get the help from the professional designers. So I have downloaded one of the open source template and I have integrated with my application. So now our application is looking somewhat good. So if you want to remove the unwanted contents, if you want to make it more interactive, or if you want to make more things, you can able to design that. Otherwise, once you practiced with this basic layouts integration, you can go for bootstrap layouts or flash or something new advanced kind of layouts, and you can able to integrate with your Rails application. Okay, so as a assignment of this class, even after completing watching this video, you can try this one. Okay, download any suitable layouts for your application and integrate with your Rails application. Okay, try this. So right now we are going to recall what are the steps we have done for that. So for that layout, we have added, prefer any one HTML template, copy all the images to assets images, copy all the CSS to that assets style sheets folder, and copy the JavaScript to your app JavaScript pack folder. Okay, once you have added all these 3 steps, next step, open your index.html.erb in that downloaded file and copy only the body content and paste it inside your application.html.erb and change the image path. So as I mentioned you, the image may be in different path in Rails application, so you need to change that with /assets. So once you have changed that, you can able to refresh your screen and you can see the corresponding output on the screen. So but the text and then some blah 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 content will be there. That unwanted contents may be removed one by one carefully. After that, you just have that in whatever the images or which one you need, you keep the required one, remove all the unwanted contents. Finally, don't forget to add the yield keyword at the proper place. Once you have added the yield keyword, that will call the other HTML files to get integrated with this layout and you will be getting the final results. Okay, so these are the steps available in your layout integration. So the next one, we need to talk about form helpers. So what is the use of this form helpers? From the name itself, you can understand the use of this form helpers. Form. What is a form? Form is nothing but it's a graphical user design where you will be entering your data in that. Okay, forms are very important. They are also called as pages, form pages. If you want to get any input from the user, for example, whenever you are doing sign up or login in your any web application, you will be entering the form. So you will be entering the first name, last name, email ID, password confirmation field, your age, mobile number, something like that. You will be entering all of the available your data. Okay, your data will be inputted only through the forms. So no other way. You cannot, maybe you can upload some resumes or something, but it is also one of the form which is getting your resume. So forms are the basic pages to get any input from the user. Okay, so Rails deal with these kind of forms. Okay, so by generating the markups by themselves. Okay, so we are not going to use regular HTML forms. In HTML, there is a basic form tag, right? So from that form tag, we will be adding the text field, submit button, everything. So let me show you one simple example of that. Then you can be able to understand that. So if you are using HTML, you will be having a sample things like this. Okay. Let me take one sample HTML. Okay, so here is a sample HTML page. If you are having any form over here, you will be having some form, something like a form tag. Okay, so which will include closing form tag. Okay, inside this form you will be having input type equal to text. So that will give you text box, and then you will be having radio button. So similar to that, you will be having radio, checkbox. So it will be going on, keep on going on, something like that. So checkbox, you will be having button. So that should be the submit button. So something like that, you will be design your forms. Okay. This is your content of your form. Form with open form tag, close form tag. Within that form, you will be having the input field, radio button, checkbox, submit button, something like that. You will be designing your form. This is a normal HTML form. We are not going to use this normal HTML form. So we are not going to use this normal HTML forms because there are two possibilities. One is the form which is in different kind of HTML versions. HTML4 will be different, HTML5 will be different. So this may lead to browser incompatibility. Browser incompatibility means some HTML forms cannot be supported in other HTML files because lots of browsers are available right now. Lots of modern browsers are available. Safari, Opera, Firefox, Google Chrome. So something like that. We have lots of other different OSs and other different browsers. So some HTML5 tags which are very advanced will not be supported by the earlier versions of your browser. So there may be some browser incompatibilities. For example, when you check the audio and video tags in HTML, which are latest in HTML5, which are not supported by earlier versions of Firefox or Google Chrome. Okay, so that if you are running that will be telling this content is not available. So that tags were not supported by this kind of browsers. To avoid that browser incompatibility, to make a markup on Rails on its own, we are having this form helpers. We are going to design our forms using our inbuilt form helpers, not regular HTML forms. Remember that. Okay, if you are going to make a form, even scaffolding we have done already, right? So if you are looking at the form which has been done by scaffolding, it is going to be the Rails form helpers. It won't make normal HTML form. Know the difference. Okay, normal HTML forms may not be compatible with Rails all the versions or something. Latest versions in the HTML5 may differ in browser to browser. So it may lead to browser incompatibility. That's why Rails is going to deal with these kind of complexities on its own. That's why we are having Rails form helpers, which is used to design our own forms in Rails markup language itself. You don't need to use HTML. Remember, the HTML forms helpers are only replacement of form elements, not all the HTML tags, because HTML is the standard view pages. Okay, we are not going to change the HTML all the tags, only the form elements. If you are having a form, inside the form you will be designing something, right? Those designs are going to be used with Rails form helpers. Remember that. So I will show you how you will be using a simple form, how you will be replacing it with Rails form helpers. Okay, so don't confuse. We are not going to use all the HTML tags. We are going to use only the form helper which are alternate, which comes with Rails by default, only for the designing of the form. Okay, form HTML tags can be replaced with HTML, this form helpers. Okay, let us talk about that. Whenever you are working on the form helpers, you can take out this as an example. So this is the normal HTML sample page. Okay, so which you are going to replace it with your corresponding form helper. Where you can refer, that means in your guide there is a dedicated topic called form helpers. Okay, so you can come here and you can verify this as your exam. So the form, okay, whatever you are having the HTML form, okay, will be replaced with this form with do. So for example, if you are having a normal HTML form, if you are using the Rails tag, it will be replaced with this particular form underscore with. Remember, your HTML tags will be starting with and ending with this one. Your Rails tags will get started with and Rails ending with this particular modular symbol with that. Okay, so this is a HTML form markup. Okay, HTML markup. This is the Rails markup. So it will be opened with greater than that modular symbol and closing symbol. Okay, so this is HTML tag and this is Rails tag. Remember that. Okay, so here this form will be replaced with form with do within the Rails markup tags. Okay, so that's it. So very simple. Similar to that, we have some other stuff. So the closing of the form will be replaced with end. So in your regular HTML form, there will be a closing form, right? So instead of that, you need to give end for this one. Okay, remember that this form with do with the end keyword is the corresponding equivalent of your form. So how your browser will recognize, if you are adding this to your view file, your browser will recognize something like this. Normal HTML form. Your browser will interpret like this. Okay. So apart from that, you can add the label tag. So label tag in our HTML will be something like label opening tag. So you will be giving something and label closing tag, right? So this is the one. So similar to that, label opening tag, label closing tag. Instead of that, in Rails, you can use this particular label tag, label underscore tag. Okay, it should be given with the Rails markup. Okay, so label underscore tag. So similar to that, lots of other things are there. Input type equal to text. Okay, so that text field will be replaced with text field tag. So for example, if you are having input type equal to text, that text box will be replaced with text box tag. Okay, text field tag. Like that, all of your available HTML elements will be replaced with the Rails form helpers tag. Why we are doing that? To avoid the browser incompatibility, to make a common form design for all the available form helpers. I mean your view pages. Okay, that's why we are using this alternate. So what are the other possibility? So if your checkbox will become checkbox tag. I mean your input type equal to checkbox will become. So this is the one. See, for time being, I'm copying and pasting for teaching purpose. Whenever you are trying, I just want you to type the character one by one from your keyboard. Okay, that will be enabling you to understand the syntax of your tags. Okay, so for time purpose, I am just copying and pasting. Okay, so next one, radio button tag. Okay, so this radio button tag can be replaced for input type equal to radio. So if it's input type equal to radio, you can replace it with the radio button tag. Okay, so your input type radio will become radio button tag. Checkbox will become checkbox underscore tag. What about the rest of the things? So rest of the things are text area will become text area tag. Okay, password field will become password field tag. Input type equal to hidden will become hidden field tag. Search field, telephone field, date, time, month, week. Okay, email, color, time field, number field, range field, something like that. It will be keep on going. Not more than 20 form helpers, because form elements are very limited, right? So you will be having 15 to 20 form helpers. That is very easy to understand and very easy to learn too. Okay, so you can able to understand and you can able to learn these things. So now I am going to add all of this particular form content to our HTML file. So we already have one file, right? So that is called home index file. In our views, we already have a home controller. Let me open that file. So let us get into our app. In that app, we are having a view. In that, we have a home index page, right? So to this file, hello Rails file, I am going to add all the available tags one by one, and I am going to show you how it will be understood by your browser. So let us take the form first. Okay, form, basic form. So this within the form, we can add the corresponding tags one by one. So as I am repeating, you just don't copy or paste. Okay, so in your case, you just, when you do practicing, don't copy or paste, you type the character one by one with your keyboard. Okay, then you can able to understand the syntax for it. So this is for checkbox. Okay, this is for, so BR, I'm giving a line break to understand. To make it better, I'm just giving a BR tag to make some break between. Okay, so BR means line break. It will give you some break between your tags. And next one, you can add the radio button tag to make it. So paste it over here. Okay, after that I can go with the rest of the things like text area, password field, all the things. Copying and pasting everything, not everything, let us try few things. Okay, so rest of the things after watching the video you can practice on your own. So this particular text area, password field, then hidden field, and then search field, telephone field, month field, year field. So those will give you drop down calendar. So for example, let us take this month field. That will give you a drop down calendar with months. Okay, so like that you can get some GUI as well. So these are the things I have added. So now let us check how this output is coming in your browser. So right now I have added the tags. Now let us check how this output is coming. So go to your home index and refresh. You can see some of the inputs. Okay, so this is for label tag, this is input tag, this is checkbox, this is a radio button, this is text area, and this is password field. Okay, this is a month field, and you can get the calendar over here. Okay, few of the things I have added. It may not be properly aligned, but in your case you can align it properly by adding the BR or some other tags. Okay, so like that you can able to get the corresponding same form helpers, I mean the HTML form tags in this one, but you don't need to use the corresponding HTML normal form elements. Instead of that you can use the form helpers which are available in your HTML format, I mean in your Rails by default. So when you see the source code, how your form is being understood by the browser. So now as a normal form, so you can see the form will be understood as usual by your browser. So checkbox will be there, radio button will be there, text area, hidden field, telephone field, password field, search field, everything will be understood as usual HTML tags as by your browser. But whenever we are adding our Rails form helpers, but your browser will understand as a normal HTML one. Okay, you can see it from your view sources. Okay, so that's it about the form helpers. So whenever you are designing a form, make sure you are using the Rails form helpers. You can see the same kind of stuff in your scaffolded code as well. We have created one scaffolded called books, right? So whenever you are checking out the view files of that scaffolding, there will be a partial file called form. Partial means the file which will starts with underscore. Okay, remember that. That is not a file, that is a common file which are going to be shared by more than one or two places. We already know Rails using the concept of dry, don't repeat yourself. The repeated contents can be put into a single file and it can be used by it can be used in two pages. That's why we are having underscore form, which is called as a partial file. Underscore, if you have file name which is starting with the underscore, it is not a file, it's a partial file which are going to be shared by more than one file. So it is going to be reused. Okay, so right now the form is being designed in the scaffold. Now you can see the form width is coming. Okay, the label, text field, and then label, text field, and the submit button is coming. So this is only for the form content. It's not the regular HTML form we are using. It is designed by the scaffold on its own. So using the form helpers, scaffold is designing this form which are going to be shared by two files. So this form is starting with underscore. So it is a partial. You can call this partial, I mean scaffold is calling this partial in two places. One is in new, because whenever you are getting the input from the user, you are going to use this form. Okay, so that is render. Render means calling, rendering the form. Okay, in one place. In edit also the same form is going to be used. That's why it's rendering the form again. Okay, and it is calling the same partial again here. So one single form partial file which are shared by two files at a time. That's why we are using this this particular partial as a normal HTML file, but it is going to be called using the render keyword in more than one places. Okay, so that is the use of the partial file, a file which is going to be shared by more than one file, that is called partial. So you can put your partial files over there and you can call it in more than one places. Your partial files should start with a underscore symbol. Remember that. Okay. So that's it about this particular Rails form helpers. Okay. So let us talk about the partials. Partials are nothing but the files which are starting with underscore. It is a common file which is going to be stored in more than one or two places. Okay. So that's it, this one. Next one, we are talked about the form helpers tags which we have studied right now. And finally, let us recap what are the topics we have learned in this particular video. We have talked about the Rails views, we have talked about layout integration, and we have talked about the form helpers and partials. Okay. So thank you so much for watching this video. Okay. Try all of this available assignments like form helpers, layout integration, and try and get the output. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest playlist of videos, live expert sessions, and much more. Like our video, watch our video, and share it with your friends. Make use of all the available resources.